You like my gloves? Why, thank you, Hillary. Go ahead and try them on. Nordstrom's? No, I got them from Delbert Deer. No, he's in northern Wisconsin. Let me start from the beginning. Last month, Gary and I were staying at a cabin up at Cable, Wisconsin. A romantic getaway. Up in this national forest, it's just beautiful up there, Hillary. Well, there's lots of trees just feet from the road. It was 1 a.m. and we were heading back to our cabin by the lake. I was driving. Gary is such a bad night driver. Astigmatism. I was going the speed limit. Well, maybe 5 over, but they allow that in Wisconsin. I was minding my own business when all of a sudden, there he was, right there in my headlights. I couldn't stop. I barely got my foot on the brake, and there he was, pasted to the windshield of Billy Beamer. Poor Delbert Deer. I got Billy pulled off the road, and Delbert Deer's brown eyes are staring at me through the windshield. I didn't kill it, Hillary. Delbert picked the wrong time to run out of the trees. He hit me. I didn't hit him. Accidental suicide. I have no guilt. Anyway, I was frantic. What should I do, Gary? What should I do? He's stuck to my windshield. What should I do? You know, Gary. He says, try the windshield wipers, Catherine, which was stupid. Delbert Deer didn't budge an inch. Anyway, we can't drive the car because the radiator is shot. So we try calling but can't get a signal. I don't understand why you can't get coverage everywhere, Hillary. It can't be that hard. Well, Delbert is on my Billy's hood. I'm not touching him, and it's late and it's cold. What should we do now, Gary, I say. You know Gary. Gary says, hike up your skirt a little, Catherine, and show some leg. Which is stupid. The 2 cars that do come go by so fast they can't see my knee, and I'm freezing because I've only got knee highs on. Finally, a big old pickup with a metal front end like a cow catcher stops to help. He's got to sell, and he has coverage. I say, look, Gary, he can afford good coverage. Gary says, yeah, he can afford coverage, but he can't afford to fix his teeth. Which is stupid, because how am I going to see his teeth in the dark or possibly ask him to take out his teeth to show me? Anyway, he leaves, and finally the police and the tow truck come. I'm nervous because Gary says it's a big fine or even jail for hunting deer out of the car hunting season, which is stupid. The police told me car hunting season lasts all year long. I was relieved. So we take Delbert Deer off Billy Beamer's hood. While the tow driver is hooking up Billy Beamer, the police tells us about this guy who cruises back and forth between Hayward and Ashland all night trying to hit Delbert's. Back and forth, 4 or 5 hours a night. He's got a full-ton pickup with a steel-reinforced front end. He calls his pickup Bambi Killer. Said you can recognize him by his bad teeth. Policeman says he got 10 last year. That's the man with the good coverage. We met him. Then, listen to this, Hillary. The policeman says it's mine to keep. Yes, Delbert Deer is mine. You kill it, you keep it. This is quite a shock. What do I do with Delbert Deer? I can't eat him. I'm a vegetarian. Well, I see the tow truck driver eyeing Delbert Deer. He says if we give him $10, he'll take Delbert Deer off our hands, feed him to his 5 boys. Anyone else, he says, would charge $50. Gary is reaching in his pocket to pay the guy when I say, Gary, Delbert Deer is mine. Now Gary finally says something intelligent. Catherine, we're vegetarians. But I had already thought of that. So I say, I haven't made up my mind. In the tow truck back, Gary gets stupid again and goes on and on about how we can't keep it. No use for it. Anyway, we get back to Cable and the tow driver lends us a car for the night. I say, let's get a cup of coffee. And Gary says, maybe we can get a cup at the Roadkill Cafe. Which is stupid. There's only one cafe in town and it's called Bob and Alice's. It's closed though, so we drive home. Since the adrenaline was still pumping and I couldn't sleep, we had a little longer romantic weekend. So while we were doing that, I convinced Gary to keep Delbert Deer. So next day, we get Billy Beamer back and tie Delbert Deer to the trunk and drive home. I took Delbert to a tanner and he made those gloves. And for Gary, he made key rings with his company logo using Delbert Deer. Very original. No one else has that. I'm sorry. No extra gloves. We used up all of Delbert Deer. So if you want a pair of gloves, you have to go up to Wisconsin yourself. Between 10 and 2 a.m. is the best time. Would you like a key ring? Gary, come here. Hillary needs a key ring.